could be significant in a relatively short amount of time. So let's look at a couple of, well, I mean, we had one recent one, which was Twitter. I think that was somewhere right around in this area, and it went all the way as high as 31, and it looks like it's going to continue, at least thus far, unless the market completely craps out. But the point is that in order to find this, what we're kind of looking for is an algorithm that's looking at a trend where there's some sort of bottoming pattern, a stabilization, another little downtrend, and then a trend change, like where it starts to, again, maybe build upon a new type of momentum and a new direction. Okay, a couple of people were saying that the screen is small and that there's no volume. Scott, are you able to hear everything and see everything? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you're 5x5. They should try logging in again if they're having issues, or maximize the screen. There's some Zoom settings at the top. You could go to Webinar Viewer interface. Okay. Might try messing with those if you're not able to see them.
So, to that end, we have these webinars where we showcase what we're doing in terms of finding these stocks that are potentially ready to really go. The last one that we had, I believe, was Solar City, and as you can see, it's a very similar type of behavior. And what our software is doing, let me just give you a little bit of an expansion. What we're doing is, again, we're trying to quantitatively figure out when a trend-changing behavior takes place. And it's multifaceted. It isn't as simple as saying this bottom was higher than this bottom. I mean, that's very simplified. There's so much going on underneath, and our software is constantly calculating when these types of behaviors turn into something positive versus something negative. Because you'd be amazed how many times what looks like this also happened maybe here on a smaller scale or here on a different part of the trend change. So we're looking at a lot of information, and we're doing this in a way to really help the individual investor find opportunities that they otherwise would not have. Now, one of the big things that we try to completely demystify trade ideas is you probably heard a lot of things that say don't buy bottoms. Don't buy bottoms because nobody can time them. Number one, that's a bunch of crap. Warren Buffett, for example, has a great saying where you don't get in until the blood in the streets or something like that. And what he's basically saying, he does look at price to market discounts as an opportunity to buy businesses. And again, we aren't trying to trade like Warren Buffett or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, don't listen to just like these random statements like don't buy bottoms. So what we do is we quantitatively and algorithmically are looking for the best opportunities where these bottom type formations, trend changes, could really turn into something. And what I want to do on this webinar is showcase some of the things that we see that are kind of what we say coming up. These are the things, again, I want to give you an ability to pay for our services for free, and to that end, Scott's going to tell you, I mean, we're doing so many exciting things at Trade Ideas. We've got the world's most amazing financial technology, and I'm probably I'm the CEO, but I'm the most excited about it. And this is just kind of like a tip of the iceberg. When you're seeing these amazing visuals, our software looks through them and studies them for you to help you figure out where you should be putting your money. So on that end, let's take a look in the format of our Trade of the Week, like NVEC. And let's talk about why, again, it's on this list. And this is called the Trend Change Lubricant Factor. For the people that are subscribers, all you have to do is ask us, and we will, of course, bring you these lists. So you can notice here, again, there was a big event. It tried to form, it tried to stabilize. It's like you can see gravity almost like bounce, bounce, bounce. All of a sudden here it's kind of stabilizing, and today, there's this little kind of perk up. So this is definitely one that we're watching, and by saying we're watching, guys, we are not really watching it, but our software is watching it for you. And this definitely is a kind of stock, especially because it's kind of like one of these low volume ones where you know that there's not a lot of resistance. So if there is some more positive momentum, you could see this thing really start to go to refill. I mean, look at the difference here where this negative, even if you can get to just starting to refill, you're talking about 10 points. So everyone here should write NVEC down on your little list and again, keep an eye for it. If you're a subscriber to Trade Ideas, of course, you can get this list and you can have that and keep it on your radar. So another one that met our criteria for Trade of the Week type of pattern is SMTC, Semtech. And what's beautiful to me here is that I'm hopefully not showing you too many different kinds of pictures, because the whole idea is that our pattern recognition engine makes this so that they're all relatively similar, because they're all setting up in this way and it found this for you. So this is another what we call a profile behavior change. You know, and by the way, if you tried to do it before, see here, I mean, there's nothing we discount against it. This here was looking very good, but then it had a failure. And that's why we keep stops involved and everything, so that we don't sit there and kind of, you know, bleed out. But here's again, we really like the angle of this. That's one of the things that our software grades in its artificial intelligence engine, is the speed and the angle of the ascent. Let's go to Renesola. Okay, so I'm gonna, again, painting you a similar picture, except the difference being is that this one's already really starting to come to life. And look at the percentage move. You know, some people often ask us, well, why couldn't you tell it to me right here or right here? And well, we say, well, we do. People that subscribe to our software, they're watching a list like this, they would see moves as they happen in real time. But this is a beautiful example of a very large percentage move that's hiding there in plain sight. While everybody's chasing, you know, Facebook and Apple and Tesla, you have 40% movers in, you know, a 2-week period. And see, that's what's nice. It's not all in one day. You didn't have to completely destroy yourself and chase it. It's like it gave you 3 to 4 days to be in it. That's what we're trying to give you guys. We're trying to completely change the game so that you're not confined to being glued to a, you know, your trading monitor. You know that good ideas are going to come in there, and it's just going to be up to you to decide when you're ready to allocate the capital. So one of our more favorite ones, and this one has been, all of our subscribers had traded this one because it was on the AI channel, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but this is a beautiful little pattern on the stock called VTL, and I'm going to kind of squinch it up a little bit, but you can see here, huge gap down, started to go up, faded a little bit, but then it's had an incredible run over the course. You know, I think from what I remember, we first caught this like below 4, and it's at 575 now. So this is these are the kinds of things that we are specifically the best at identifying in real time. And what we're showing you here is that, you know, I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to tell you how to tinker with this stuff, even though you can. You absolutely, you know, we have customers who have been with us for like over 9 years, and they spend so much time creating formulas and different setups, and they get incredible value out of it. But we've gotten so good at getting you ramped up so that literally your first experience can be watching this screen. It's interesting every single day. And then, of course, you can channel surf, just like you do on Netflix or on your cable. So this data-rich environment of the trade of the week type setups continues. AGI. And what we like about, let me, AGI, come to me. Okay, here you go, AGI. One of the things that we're also very cognizant of is that we designed this for a couple of different ways, is that here we're also focusing on some strategies where you don't have to commit an immense amount of capital to take advantage of the percentage moves. You know, again, this is not a Google or an Apple or even an Intel. These are smaller companies, you know, in whatever industries that they are, but they're definitely tradable enough for you to be able to take advantage. And the key to taking advantage is to be able to identify these critical building periods, which is what we're doing right now. We're identifying these building periods so that we can be in it for the bigger play. And whether it's VTL or AGI or one of the other ones, with trade ideas kind of guiding you, it's your market navigation system, your browser, it really becomes an unmatched piece of technology. There's really just nothing like it on the market today. So, okay, let's continue. I'm going to expand this out a little bit, and then I'm going to move on over to this one because there's just different candidates. And I want to show you that, you know, part of what we do in this particular webinar is really focused more on the idea and less on the how you set it up and what you do on it. But we really do also highlight different types of stocks. I want to talk about like GoPro, okay? And this thing has been completely annihilated. And it is, you know, sometimes our the way it trades and where it's been, you can see like it's kind of teased you all the way from here. So here something happened, you're like, okay, it's going to go, and then nope. And then here something's going to happen, and nope. And then here tried, nope. Lower and tried, nope. And here it's doing it again. But there's something about this one that literally our AI was like, hello, Dan, could you please pay attention to GoPro? I haven't seen a stock fail that many times, or at least one that's been up this much and failed that many times in this particular way. It could really be due. So this is another one that we're watching very, very carefully because there's just been so much selling in it that this is where a GoPro attracts a Warren Buffett, and I'm being completely metaphorical here. But somebody who, you know, was like thinking it was crazy over here, but now, you know, in 2 months you more than, you know, cut the price in half. Whatever the reason you want IPO in the first place, there's really opportunity for you if you believe in what they're doing going forward. And that's the place you want to be in. You know, you as an investor, an active participant in the marketplace who's not just giving their money to every, you know, money manager to put into some program, this is where you stand to take an advantage. And Trade Ideas is kind of your, you know, it's your navigator. It's your driving engine to help you navigate the market of opportunities. The market of opportunities are not discussed on CNBC, and you don't read about them in Investors Business Daily. They happen in real time when you're watching the market, when you're seeing something come to your attention for a specific reason that other people are not. So again, and here's another example. Look at this thing right here. Okay, this is Yingli Green Energy. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up is percentages. You know, we're talking about, first of all, 7 million shares. Something was going on here, and the percentages that we're talking about here, it's like even though you squint, but, you know, we're talking about 100%. And it's not that it was so speculative that the average person could not participate. This is not one of those stocks that's, you know, has a 10-cent spread. Its spread is, I mean, you can see there's just candles and candles and candles where, you know, this thing was playable, and it still doesn't look like it's over. So we have this one again. Notice we have these Trade Ideas has custom proprietary kind of grading metrics where our software and our artificial intelligence engine grades the behavior on various forms like efficiency and relative efficiency and all this other stuff that again is kind of calculus, but the idea is that these are numbers that the AI then is able to compare to how other things are doing and then sort this in a way that brings you the most interesting things to your attention, you know, so that you can see when something unusual or interesting takes place, like this ADHD. Again, this is one that our AI has, you know, kind of kept an eye on and played before. I mean, look at this move from this base position. So this is what the kind of behaviors that you want to be able to take advantage of, and this is exactly what we are trying to do all the time in real time. And the truth of the matter is you don't have to sit there and hold positions forever to necessarily, make money in the stock market. You can be in a shorter term. There's nothing wrong with that. I discussed something in the webinar earlier today where I pointed this out. This is a stock that I know very well personally. I've traded it, and it's been one of my biggest winners. But it just had a gap down, from 142 to 133, and then traded as low as 199. I mean, this is crazy kind of volatility. You would not necessarily want to wake up with something like that, and that's what happens in a world of very fast-moving information. Okay, so there's different lists. All of these different lists are all opportunities that we're going to be looking at for tomorrow. This is what this list looks like. This is as of the close. So ADHD, AFMD. I mean, the reason I'm bringing this up to you, again, look at the way this finished on the 5-minute move, is that these are candidates. You can always say, well, what's going to happen tomorrow? I just want to assure you that nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow because it hasn't happened yet. There's no system that can predict the market. The best systems are the most reflexive and reactive, and that's what we have. Our technology is tied to the market in real time. We sense its blood, and we analyze it, listen to it, process it. There's just nothing like it on the market. And where we're evolving to is a full concierge kind of artificial intelligence trading system that works for you, where you don't even have to necessarily pick the stocks out of these potential setups. It'll do it all for you by itself, all based on statistical analysis. So again, I'm gonna spend some time answering some questions real quick, but I just wanted to say that, in the Trade of the Week type webinar, these are the things that we see that are really setting up for Trade of the Week type candidates. This is where we found Twitter. This is where we found Solar City, and these are the next one that potentially could be ready for Monday. I think there's one that I really, TANH. This is another one that I think I've mentioned this before at another meeting, that this has been all over our radar, Tantech Holdings. I mean, it really wants to do something. That's what our AI is telling us. So that's another one that you definitely need to be writing down, TANH. The biggest thing that's happening, if you are here and if you have an online brokerage account and you plan on managing your money in any kind of way, Trade Ideas is going to be something that is a must for you, because we have the only living, breathing trading computer that will trade for you based on the best data that's available, and that's our internal database. I'm going to show you just kind of what it looks like, because that's what we've been the most excited about. Let's see, where did it go? Hold on one second. When you do these presentations, always something happens. Okay, so this is kind of like what the strategy matrix looks like. You can now view all of the trades that happen on a per strategy basis. So you can see exactly what was going on, what time. You can sort the AI on time, and you can see, like, okay, like, if I started at the open, how would it have looked like? So here is kind of like, since I'm on the West Coast, this is the first hour. So this is what your first hour with the AI looked like. One loser, winner, winner, loser, winner, 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 loser, winner, 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 loser, winner, loser, winner, winner, loser, winner, winner. This is going to completely revolutionize the way that everybody invests, because again, I know right now you're seeing it in kind of a grid form, but it all happens live during the market, where you can see it happen on which strategy is doing the best, and you can really just gravitate then towards where the success is and mimic it. You can jump on it, you can add to it manually. I mean, you will be able to interact with it in a number of different ways. And the best, there should be no human ever that will be able to do what this machine is doing. It's kind of like the chess computer that beat the experts, or IBM's Watson that beat that guy on Jeopardy. It's the same thing. We're just processing way too much data. For every one of these strategies to make it here, approximately 50,000 potential trades are started with every single evening, and it takes almost the entire night to run through. And when we get up in the morning, we'll be presented with a brand new set of strategies, brand new number of longs and shorts, and a brand new bracket of winners to choose from, and then we continue on trading the next day. Okay, let me, so that's our AI. Scott will have some information on how you can access it. You need to have the odds maker in order to have access to the artificial intelligence engine. That's a must. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to take some questions. Okay, let me see. Mike, I'm glad I'm giving you some smaller stocks, no problem. Okay, Maurizio, what's the liquidity on the bid-ask spreads on the instruments you're looking at? Well, these are stocks, and the liquidity on the bid-ask spread is whatever the best quote is, on the bid. You should be able to trade retail on this without a problem, like up to 1,000 shares, give or take, plus or minus 5 to 8 cents. So again, you would be able to look up the actual liquidity right when you were ready to make the trade or not make the trade. And you would be able to see everything. You can also program that into a strategy if you need to have a certain type of liquidity for the kind of trading that you do. Okay, let's see, next questions. Will, I think I discussed the setups that are here, are setups possibly for tomorrow, but since we don't know tomorrow until tomorrow happens, we got to wait till tomorrow. So the efficiency, Lee, let me bring that up. Okay, so we have different types of efficiencies. Lee's asking about what is this column? I'm going to sort it by efficiency. Okay, and here's efficiency smaller cap. So what efficiency does is basically tell you how much impact your dollar has in the direction of the move that you want it to go. So in other words, how much dollar volume did it take for this stock to be up as much as it is? And in theory, if it took less dollar volume for it to be up more, then your money is being used very efficiently because there's no seller. It has a high level of efficiency. And we kind of talked about how that's actually interestingly counterintuitive to the general market, jargon of, oh my God, I need really heavy volume. Well, you might in the confirmation phase or, in some sort of event phase, but since we're trying to get into these trades before the pack, what we're liking to see is efficiency, where again, they move, okay, but the moves are not like this type of volume, where you had here. It's still enough, but very manageable. In other words, almost everything is happening on the buy side. Okay, David. So the cancellation policy, it's a good question. We really do everything on a case-by-case basis, and we typically have not had anybody cancel the 1088 because it's such a big discount. So I don't know how we would be refunding that. You should only do it at your own risk, and we certainly, don't want to push you to do anything you don't want to do. Again, the reason why we've never really had anybody cancel that is because we just, we're so open and you can come in monthly. You don't ever have to buy anything yearly, but we do encourage people to take advantage of opportunities that otherwise might not be available. One of the things I was telling all the participants in the previous webinar, and I know this doesn't sound crazy, but we talked to a firm that helps, businesses like us on pricing of things, because they're seeing how rapidly we're growing, and they've literally suggested that it's possible that we're underpricing that 1088 by 5, and that the real supply and demand is somewhere in the 5,000, like much cheaper than a car, they said, but think how many people have cars. So we, as a company, said we're going to do at least, we're going to do 1,000 people at 1088. You should still have plenty of time. And there was, like, I think I mentioned, I don't have the list in front of me, but since we've started that, which was, I think, like a month and a half ago, there's like 698 or in the 690s that are left. So there's still plenty of time, to take advantage. You're not going to be, you're not under the gun or anything like that. So Dave, a great question. So Dave asked is, are our systems geared towards swing or are they geared towards day trading? Fantastic question. Let me show you. So here we have a time frame. Okay, and you can see here there were 2 swings and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 intradays, 2 swings. The swings are, I believe, 2 days and 4 days, but there could be longer swing time frames. Here's the interesting part. There are more swing strategies that are available, okay, but they didn't make the statistical cut. So what's kind of really cool about our AI engine is that there's not just, these aren't the strategies that keep getting optimized or not re-optimized. There's like this bank of strategies that's approximately 25 strategies deep that you do not see. And we've shown it before in a presentation where we've shown you the whole list of them. And the AI engine works through this every night, and in the morning it grades the strategies. And the grade is a combination of a win factor, profit factor, and the number of trades. Where is it? Yeah, like total trades and max trades per day. Like, for example, we want enough, but we don't want too much either. So this is the most incredible stuff for investing. So Zach, would this be software to use for a beginner? I mean, I absolutely think so, because we've totally gone away from all of the configuration where it necessitates for you to be, configuring things. Let me show you something real quick. I'm going to move these windows. I'm going to pin them, make sure I can get them back. And I'm going to close this and this. And I'm just going to show Zach real quick how many people interact with the software. So here's our channel bar. Okay. So I typically start the morning with the pre-market channel. So this is your, imagine again, you got your coffee, this is your use case example. Pre-market channel is going to tell you, listen, the AI hasn't started, but you want to know what's happening in the pre-market, because it's all the stuff that, the news we can't control. So Will wanted to know what was happening tomorrow. Well, you'll know that right here in this window. So you're going to see all the gaps, gap ups and gap downs, and you can see how the stocks are moving. You can do a quick, profile, see what's going on. So this is almost everybody's pre-market routine. Then, as per the channel order, you go, whoops, sorry, jumped the gun. You go right into the social media. That's actually the second one. So what's really cool, and for everybody that doesn't know, and again, I don't usually talk about this that much in the Trade of the Week webinar, but what makes Trade Ideas different is that we don't just analyze market data. Not only do we create our own data, but we also take data from social media. So we have a partnership with StockTwits, and we watch how people are talking about stocks. So we're computing that in real time, and you can see like which stocks are being talked about a lot and going up at the same time. You can see the same thing on the downside. You can see which ones are being talked about in an unusual amount. Like here's, and this one is always going to find you some this channel. I mean, again, that's another one where you can be watching it all day long. You're going to see stuff. All of a sudden, Walmart, being talked about a lot in social media. So this is a great channel where, again, in terms of information, you can just quickly peruse through and move on. Next one, surge. One of my favorite channels for like after the first 45 minutes. There's really nothing better than the surge channel, because just like it says, specifically what the surge is looking for is when things are starting to happen and they happen quickly. So this is specifically designed to where a stock goes from not much going on to like, whoa, something's happening right now. And it's done again via streams. So you see these M's or multi-strategy streams, overt window streams, and top lists, where you can see just the unusual ranges. So here's the CASI. I mean, look at this thing. Then, of course, the Walmart on the downside, Bank of Internet on the downside, and BCOR also on the downside. So the way we do it is we're mathematically just comparing everything to everything all the time and figuring out where the best statistics are hiding. Okay. You can always see what the sectors are doing as well, and that way, again, you just very quickly can gear yourself to see what's doing the best. Here you have the gold. How to possibly take advantage of it. There's something for everyone. And for beginners, there's nothing better, I think, than not having to configure. So, again, depending on what you're interested in, whether it's China, whether it's options, social media, we cover everything after hours, and probably, let me just talk about what's probably the best thing that we have is like a full community where there's probably 200 people on all the time that's moderated by Barry Einerson, who's our head trading moderator. And Barry not only is using our technology, he's helping people, but he's also showing you how to interact with the AI channel. And there's a whole community of very good investors and traders who are interacting, and that's for free, so that so that people can see that this is no joke. This isn't a start. We're not a startup. We've been here for 13 years, but we've literally just created the best technology on the planet. It's been like 13 years in the making, and this is what we believe is going to take over. This is going to be the must-have in the financial markets. Scott, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give the people that are here just a quick price update, and then I'll come back and take more questions, and we'll end a little bit earlier because, again, I want to just make sure that we're communicating what we need to do.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Can you park it on that pricing list slide?
Yeah, let me see what I did with it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're a software as a service company, so we work on a subscription-based model.
Let me get that list. Let me get the presentation up. I must have just completely forgotten to even put it up. Bear with me for 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. So our pricing model is $99 a month or $888 per year. Naturally, the annual rate saves you quite a bit of money over the $99 a month. The rates for the subscriptions, both the annual and the monthly, include the same thing. They include all of your data. You get the real-time data included with that price, unless you're a professional trader, which is a small portion of our clientele. If you're a professional trader, you already know you are, because you have a Series 7 and you're trading other people's money. So essentially, all of you would be considered non-pros unless there's a pro in the room. So the $99 and $888 cover everything for the data. It also includes our charting that we just released in July. You also get an excellent hour of power one-on-one training class that you do with a screen sharing session with either our Director of Education, Barry Einerson, or Dan Merkin himself, or Brad Williams. Jamie does handle most of our training. We also have a backtesting module, which is actually the technology that powers the AI. So our odds maker is our backtester, and it's a lifetime license. So there's a one-time $1,100 fee to get the odds maker, and the odds maker will be required to access the AI channel and some other new tools we're releasing, like the red bar ignore, green bar ignore tools that we've been adding to the new upcoming edition of Trade Ideas. It should be out in the next week or two. Now, the odds maker is a backtesting tool that lets you backtest the entire market, not just a stock or two or a small basket of stocks like TradeStation. There's no programming required. It comes with a free strategy. And a little bit later on in the presentation, after Dan takes some questions, I'll share with y'all a way that you can get the odds maker or get into trade ideas and save some money. It's a way we like to thank those of you that show up for our webinar and interact with us. Dan?
Scott, thank you very much. Let me minimize this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a few more questions. I'm going to show you a couple of, again, a couple more things that I think will be interesting for you in terms of the trade of the week. But really, this whole webinar series is about showcasing you how we make choices, how we pick, the particular trade of the week candidate. And the bottom line is that's an introduction to our algorithms, our data. We have the most sophisticated computer technology available to help you make the most informed investment decision, period. We're the only ones that do event testing. We're the only ones that have artificial intelligence. And we're going to help you take it to the next level. The new wave of innovation in financial technology is upon us, and we're super excited to be the ones that are bringing it. So, okay, I had a question from Dusty from Scottrade. Dusty regarding Scottrade. So, in terms of all of our, as you guys know, that we have partners with brokerages. You can get trade ideas inside of E-Trade, Scottrade, Lightspeed. I think was available through October, but it's not going to be after October, so it'll be a la carte. But the bottom line is the AI, which is the thing that I was talking to you about, the engine that finds the best strategy, that finds how to trade it and helps you get in and helps you get out. That isn't something that we've added to any of our enterprise licenses yet, only because, again, we think that there isn't a right way to price it. By far, this is what everyone has wanted. I mean, our customer base has spoken and we kind of listen. This is what you guys want. You want to be able to use our tech to make the best decisions and the best risk management, and we have that for you. So it's really just up to you to take advantage. Golfing with Dan is available if Dan is not stuck in meetings. Again, I have to tell you guys how much I appreciate the fact that I'm able to, as CEO, to talk to customers and interact with you guys. I think, to me, that's really the only way to create a viable business, is where you're not just always asking focus groups and managers what the hell is going on. You're really talking to the people, and we do that all the time, whether it's myself and our other partners at the webinars, or Barry during market hours, and I come in there too. We're the most interactive place, and we have the best technology, and a lot of great educators are also using it. So it's kind of like a full loop from when you sign up to where Jamie takes your hand and kind of like where Jamie takes your hand and takes you through the setup process. It's all designed to just help alleviate your anxiety about being able to place trades and get you to the most value on the first impression. So Lee, I'm not sure what you're hearing because I'm the only one that's talking. Again, Scott, maybe, yeah, sometimes, the internet, we are doing this over internet, and often things can happen. Yeah, so Dusty, although it's kind of funny. So Dusty was asking, do you need to write code to set up filters and things like that? And we kind of have both elements together at once. To be a superpower user, you don't have to learn how to do anything. You can just channel surf, and you will be presented with some of the best opportunities in the day for sure. But if you really want to dive in and take advantage, we do have a programming language for you to program things as well. So we kind of work on both sides of the pattern. We don't exclude anything. And that really is the power of the architecture and the system. This is, to me, you're here, you're at this webinar, you're on the edge of either, you want to do something in the market. This is an opportunity for you to really be an early adopter in something incredible. So I can't communicate that any more emphatically. I think you're going to start seeing this technology everywhere, and I think the sooner you have it, the better you are going to work with it and profit from it. So, Scott, again, that's it. Unless there's any other questions, I wanted to keep it simple tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope you take advantage and join us on this incredible ride. So, Scott, let me bring
last one in there. There's one last one in there. Why don't you get from Dusty about auto trading? Why don't you let him know what services we can do that with?
Okay. So, does the code work with the auto trader? So, right now, everything that you can write, like in a custom formula, that would work with the auto trading. But we're completely redoing the auto trading for the artificial intelligence engine. The auto trader is getting a cleanup. So it's going to be a fully encompassed thing. Yes, alternate sound dimensions and all of that.
Great. Okay, I think we're pretty much around the good time to kind of bring this into to an end. So something I'd like to do to thank everyone for showing up is offer a subscription code to let you try us for less money. You don't even need to write it down. If you download a PDF that's attached to the handouts section, there should be a handouts module on your GoToWebinar interface. You can download that, or you don't need to. Just go ahead and click on the one of the subscription buttons on our website and enter in the code QAWeb14. It is case sensitive. What that code does is takes half off your first month, or 20% off your first year, or 30% off your oddsmaker license. So if you're a subscriber and currently do not have an oddsmaker license, like slightly more than half of you in the room right now, you can get it for $770. It's a lifetime license. Whether you come and go with trade ideas, we hope that you always stay, but we do have traders that they disappear in the summer months and then they come back after. You'll have the oddsmaker all year round whenever you decide to use us. So you can save, that drops that down from $1,100 to just $770. We get into a year for $710 your first year, or just $49 for your first month. It's a no contract. If you don't want to renew for the second month, just cancel. But we're doing some really exciting things, so I don't know why you'd do that. So use that code before Friday, anytime. And those of you who have understand the value or who are already subscribers to Trade Ideas and also don't have the oddsmaker, here's a great way for you to get it. So if you're like on the monthly plan, for example, paying, whether you're on the old one, the $75 a month, the new one that's $99 a month, you can switch over to this. Just pick this up at 1088 and then shoot us an email letting us know you did that, and we'll turn off the recurring monthly of $75 or $99 so you don't accidentally get double billed. And you save $900. Super easy. You go to that bit.ly link, or you can click through the PDF that you have that you can download. It is case sensitive, so you got to enter it just like it appears, bit.ly/SAVE900. Click through and just purchase that. It's 1088, saves you a bunch of money. We're going to drop this offer off after we release the AI channel. So within a week or two of the beta release, the public beta release, we'll be doing away with that 1088 package within a week.
Yeah, remember I was mentioning that, Scott, that we already capped it at 1,000, and there's only the 692, and again, this thing is so popular, it's going to go pretty quick. So that's right. Kind of what Scott is alluding to.
So if you have any questions at all, just email us, info@tradeideas.com. Follow us on Facebook. We're Trade Ideas Pro on Facebook. Follow Dan on Twitter and see his antics. He's Trade Ideas 1 on Twitter. Thanks everyone for coming. Keep an eye on your email.
Thank you very much.
You also get you get a link to the replay of the webinar, so you can share that with your friends too if you want to. Get them to sign up.
Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye.